Welcome. This is a quick start guide to the new registration roster template. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up here. And this can also be opened in Google Docs as well if you don't have access to Excel. So it's opened us up into the roster template. And this is where we're going to be entering most of our program and participant information. But first, we want to navigate over to our form resources. So this page has a whole host of links that you are going to be able to use to easily access information that you'll be needing. So this has a link to the Return to Activities page. This is a link to the winter registration portal. So after you finish filling this out, you can just click right here and then it will take you directly to that link, as well as the regional sport pages. Up here, we have our registration paperwork links, as well as some reasons that we often see individual forms rejected, and then what pages are required from these forms when they're submitted. Down here, we have our coaches and volunteer section, where we have our background checks as well as our trainings for different coaches and volunteers. But we're working on entering people into our pre-registration or participant roster. So I'm going to click down here into the roster, and I'm going to start filling out our person information. So we have our area. So I'm going to click in here, and you'll notice that there's a little box that's going to pop up right to the right of it. You can select that, and it's going to drop down a whole list of options. So I'm going to click Cascade. And you know what? I decided that that's not what I want. So I'm going to backspace and I'm going to try and type in something that is incorrect. So, and I'm just going to hit enter and it's going to prompt me to enter valid data or valid area. So I'm going to cancel and I'm going to clear and see how it tried to prompt me into the right one. But I'm going to go ahead and select the correct one. And then I'm going to be able to free type into the program name. And I'm just going to name my program. And I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm down to sports. So I'm going to go ahead and be able to select from here. And this is going to list all of the different kinds of sports that are possible. So you're going to go ahead and click basketball. And then over here, I'm going to indicate what type of sport this is. So I'm going to say that we're going to be a community unified. So now I am ready to go ahead and start entering my information for our people who are going to be participating in our program. So I'm going to click into person type, and you're going to notice that this is once again a selection. So I'm going to start with our head coach, and I'm going to start typing in the names. And so we want to make sure that as much of this information is correct and filled out as possible. This information is going to be run through our database, and being able to have it as accurate as possible is going to allow for us to be able to return you good information more quickly. And this is going to be in a format that is required. So I'm not going to be able to enter it any other way than the month, date, and year. And then I'm going to click over into gender. And then I'm going to indicate if this is a new or returning athlete or participant. So now let's see, we're going to go into we have a unified partner. So I'm going to start entering that information in. And just as an example, you know, it's the last minute, although I know that no one's waiting until the last minute to finish these. And I do not know what Shaggy's date of birth is. So we're just going to have to submit without it. So we're going to go ahead and skip that. But whenever possible, the date of birth is a very, very important piece of information for us to be able to match up if they exist in our system or not. I'm going to select the rest of these. and then so on and so forth. So we're going to be able to enter the name of all of our participants in here, and then we're going to save this. And we're going to go ahead and be able to click back to our form resources, and then we're going to click on the winter registration portal, and then we're going to close. We're going to save this. I'm not saving it for our example right now, but we are now directly into the winter 2022 season registration portal, where you're going to be able to submit all of this information. Thank you so much, and we will have more information for how your certification and your form returns is going to look in the next one.